this will now be the second or third year in a row that in the preseason we've heard the coaches talk about this is Rock Taylor's year. This is
Yeah.
now this, that, and the third. This is the first game where I saw an extended period of time where he was impacting the game on a very real level. What did you think about Rock? Like, what did you see? I mean, he's just, I'll say this up close in person. I didn't need my little 5.5-inch screen to notice. Dude's a monster. Like, he's a big kid that can
Yeah,
run.
and the question has never been talent. Like, this is a kid that was very highly rated coming out of high school, was a 4-star at one point, was a Tennessee commit at one point to Jeremy Pruitt.
Right.
Like, he has talent. We know that. It's never been a question of that. Is he the fastest receiver? No, but he has great size, and that helps him a lot. You know, anytime you have a receiver of that size, that is a big advantage. And I think this could be the year that he puts it together. And it's a year that Memphis needs him to put it together because they need an intermediate guy. They need a guy that can play underneath. Like you said, you mentioned the speed of Demir Blankumsey and what he does as far as stretching the field and being a slot threat.
Right.
Towski Dove is a big player, but he's more of a 50-50 ball down the field, go get it. Rock would be like your intermediate, middle of the field, dig, slant, skinny post. Like, that's the guy for that. And you need that to open everything up, you know, not only for your other receivers, but for your running game as well. So, like, if he can put it together this year, if the 6 catches for 78 yards is a somewhat close baseline, if he's between a 45 and 85 yard game every week and he's got, 4 to 8 catches a game, and that's the kind of role that he's playing,
Right.
they need that. Like, they need that guy that can win in tight coverage over the middle of the field. And those are when you go, 3rd and 8 type plays. That's when you go over the middle of the field on those digs and slants and stuff like that. And you need a guy who, like I said, he's not the best separator, but a guy that you can fit it in that tight window coverage and he can make those catches and, extend the drive. And that's where he needs to be. And if he can do that, like, they need that desperately because he's the only player they have that can really do that.
And I would say he's the first guy in a long time the Tigers have had that could play that role, right? Like, if you remember, like, who have they had? DeMonte was that guy. Antonio was that guy in 2019, right? Even before he kind of took over not took over, but started running in the backfield a little bit. But, like, those were those guys that were the intermediate. We got to get 8 yards and let's hope they can get some yards after catch, right? Like, let's get the ball to them where we know they settle down right next to the marker and get our first down and try to move the ball, keep the possession going. But no, man, it was definitely, he's the first guy. Like, I mean, Javon was tall. Javon Ivory last year was tall, but Javon didn't have that size that Rock has.
Just be able to box somebody out.
Yeah, Rock has that look of him where if he gets you on his hip, it's over. Like, you're not going to be able, because he's fast enough, but it's going to be very difficult for a corner to be able to go through that size of a kid once he's got you on his hip. And that's exactly what the Tigers have needed this entire time. They've needed somebody that can be that guy, right?